Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for watching the tuna wrap video. As it turns out, those were extremely tasty. I ate all of them. So tonight, I wanted to do, I felt like Greek food, to be honest with you, and I wanted to do Tiropitas for you. And as you know, anything, Tiropita, spanakopita, anything kind of ending in pita like that, tends to be a whole phyllo dough situation. So I went to the store to buy phyllo dough, and it turns out that they didn't have it. It usually comes frozen in the little roll, and then you thaw it out, you melt the butter, you put the butter in between. They were out completely. And so I went to another store to see if they had it, and they didn't have it either. And the input I got from the store manager was that they were unable to obtain it for quite some time now. So I imagine it's a supply chain issue, which is totally fine. As you know, we're going through all this supply chain stuff right now. So it's okay, we improvise. That's all right. There's enough food in the store to accommodate. So what I did is I picked up these. Now, these aren't the same as making them, by hand, but these are pre-baked little shells. I will still make the filling, and I will still put the filling into the shells. And so I'll do it that way. And then I thought it might be fun. I'm going to try something new. Since I couldn't get the phyllo dough, I actually picked up puff pastry. And so I will make the filling, and I will put some in the cups as well as into these, and I will bake these off. And I'm sure that everything will be equally as tasty as if it was phyllo dough. So I'm not worried about it. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. As with phyllo dough, you don't want to bring out the dough early. You don't want it to dry out. I'm going to do the same thing with the puff pastry, just leaving it off to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and start on the actual filling itself. Now, this is my own version of Tiropita filling. This is not some recipe that I obtained. It's not anything like that. This is my own spin on it. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in here. And I'm going to start it off with cream cheese. And I didn't really know how much I would need, so I got a dual pack. Sorry if the noises are a little bit loud, I apologize. All right, so as you can see, there's 2 of them in there. We're gonna take one of these out. And this has been pre-softened. Obviously, I couldn't work with it if it was too hard. So we'll go ahead and open this guy. And there we are. I've seen Tiropitas made with goat cheese, and they're very, very good. What I have chosen to do today is make them with feta. Feta is, as you know, extremely sharp. Goat cheese is as well, but the feta is very, very, it has a harder texture. It's more firm. And since we have the cream cheese going for us, which is obviously very soft, I decided to kind of, mix up the textures a little bit and just kind of add a little more sharpness than you get out of goat cheese. So we will go ahead and plop that in. And I actually did pick up quite a bit of feta, so I am going to go ahead and use both packages here. That's going to be an entire pound. And I did buy enough puff pastry to make it work. So we'll go ahead and do this one as well. I'm following the instructions. It says open along the center seam, but I don't know. It's not like there's a pull tab or anything, so so we'll figure it out as we go. All right, and we have that one. All right, so then now we have our feta, and this is a grease import, so it does have liquid in it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drain the liquid. I hope this is a little easier to open than the cream cheese was. Okay, it is not easier to open than the cream cheese was. Well, this is interesting. It says open here. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. There we are. Sorry that took a minute. And like I said, there's some fluid in here. I'm just gonna drain this out. It's actually, I think it's a salt solution. Let me go ahead and drain that. And this has been softened as well, so it looks a little like tofu. So I will go ahead and actually just kind of slice some of this up. You have the creaminess of the cream cheese, and then you have this really, really sharp feta. And so I wanted to go 2 parts cream cheese to 1 part feta, so that it's not a feta bomb. Now at the very end of this, I'm gonna put together a very quick, Greek salad. And so I'm gonna save just a little bit of this feta as a garnish for the salad. And I'm just, we can crumble that up over time. But in the meantime, let me grab a towel. And okay, so here we have that, and we're just gonna go ahead and start kind of mixing this together. And the cheese is nice and soft. Now, classically, you could put this in a KitchenAid, and I would actually highly recommend that. Put it in a KitchenAid with a paddle attachment, and just, go ahead and beat this around a little bit, the same way you would a cookie dough. For the sake of this video, I'm gonna go ahead and do this by hand. And that way we're not running machines and making loud noises and that kind of thing. The flavor will end up the same, just a different way of mixing it up. And this is soft enough to where it's actually mixing very, very well, and it's incorporating together. All right, very good. And get some of that off. Now I'm going to add a few more ingredients to this, and it'll give it a little more flavor and kind of some unique flavors. I'm gonna add a little bit of lime, a little bit of zing, not too much, just like that. And also, I actually really like, I like garlic in these, and so, you know, not a lot. You know, obviously it's not a garlic bomb, or, you know, it's not Italian food where you have a lot of garlic, but I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of garlic clove to this. And I'm a fan of these little pre-peeled packs. That's the best way to go. That way you have the flavor of fresh without buying a can, and you can just crush it. So not too many. I'm thinking maybe that's about it. 4, that'll do it. And then when you use these garlic crushers, they tend to eat a little bit of the garlic, so you don't end up with all the garlic anyway. So I'm gonna put it on the crush setting here. Go ahead and crush that down. And the last one. And I'm very curious about this garlic crusher. If anyone knows the answer to this, what is this little, let me get this in the light here. What is the little tip on the end for? I don't see how that would work to peel garlic. I don't really know what that's for. Very, very curious. Anyway, so now we have our garlic in there. And I'm gonna put some green onion in. And when I use the green onion, I only want to use the tips. I don't want to use that bulb part, just for texture reasons. So I'm going to start at the green end, not the bulb end, and just go ahead and chop this down. As small as I can make it. As you can see, I didn't get down to the bulb end. I'm still using the greens. You could use chives in this if you like. I tend to like a little bit larger of a green bite, if that makes sense. Chives are very, very small, and I like something a little bit larger in there. Okay, so we have our green onions in. And I'm also gonna put just a little bit of mint. Now, obviously we don't want this to be a minty dish. That's not what this is about, but just a little bit of background freshness is all we're looking for. So we're gonna take these leaves, get rid of the stem. There's the stem, we'll get rid of that. And really, probably 2 of these is all we're gonna need for background flavor. And again, we're just gonna chop that up. Because once you start stirring the cream cheese and you start incorporating these ingredients, the oils will come out of the herbs and the oils will come out of the mint. And so we don't want to go overboard right now. As we stir it, more and more of those oils are going to permeate that cheese. So we just want to do a little teeny bit here. And that's it. Okay. And so we're going to give this a good stir one more time. And I can already smell that fragrant, you know, the onion coming off with the mint. It smells very, very good. The tanginess of the feta, that's coming through. Everything about this is coming together. And as always, I'm going to add a smidge of cracked black pepper. Okay, this is more than a smidge. Oh, that smells so good. Even the pepper made it smell good. All right. So I am going to give this a quick taste test. And we'll see. Sorry about the loud noise, I apologize. Oh my God, that's good. Oh, the tanginess of the lime. It's perfect with the feta. The feta broke down, but it left a little bit of graininess, which is perfect within the texture of the cream cheese. Everything about that is perfect. Okay, so now I'm really, really excited to try this once it's in the pastry. I sort of just want a large spoon and forget the pastry. All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take my cheese. This is the cheese we're gonna crumble for later. We'll put that to the side. And in the meantime, this cutting board has cheese all over, so I'm gonna flip it. And now we're gonna start with the puff pastry. So I have a little bit of flour here. I've put a little bit of flour in a ramekin, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle some of that down. So that our pastry does not stick to the cutting board. And the other thing we're gonna do as well is we need a little bit of egg wash. Now, interestingly, there was the shortage of phyllo dough. There was also a shortage of eggs. And so I went to the first store, couldn't find the phyllo, couldn't find the eggs I wanted. And then I had to go to a second store. The phyllo wasn't there as well, but they did have a version of eggs that was good, so I went ahead and got the eggs. But it was limited, so I got one of the last dozens that were left. And so for any egg eaters out there, just beware that there's a little bit of an egg shortage right now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take an egg. We're gonna go ahead and crack it in here. And in order to make the egg wash, we're gonna add a little bit of water, so let me do that. And there we go. I'm gonna whisk that around a little bit. And this is just gonna act as glue, as you all know. This is a sealant around edges of pastry or dough or anything like that. And again, obviously, if we were working with phyllo dough, I wouldn't have egg wash here. I would have straight melted butter. And this butter did not end up getting used due to the fact that there was no phyllo. So we're going to do the egg wash instead. All right, let me put that away. All right, so now that's that. And we also have our little brush for the egg wash. Okay. You can tell I like eggs. This is actually an egg towel. It has little fried eggs all over it. Let's see. So now we take our puff pastry. And this has been thawed out. It comes in frozen, as you know. And it comes in 2 sheets, so here's one of the sheets. And there's the other one. A little bit of egg on there. Okay. So let's go ahead and unravel our dough. Flatten that out a little bit. Now with the Tiropitas, typically, you know, we would fold, we would do the little triangle shape as we went and things like that. If I were to do that with the puff pastry, it would become a very, very thick ball of pastry. So it's not what I'm looking for. So what I'll do instead is I will still do the strips, but I'm gonna fold them differently. And I think we'll probably literally just do these. You can also do little beggar's purses, and let me show you what I mean by that. And maybe that's actually what we'll do. Let's do little beggar's purses. That might be fun. The only time I've ever really done a beggar's purse is with escargot and garlic butter. But I don't see why it can't work with this as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So what we'll do is we'll just take a little bit of this filling, put it right in the middle. Actually, that's a lot of filling, but we'll make it work. And so go ahead and scoot that to the middle as much as you can. And this is where your egg wash comes in. So as you know, we're just gonna go ahead and do the edges. This is your glue. We're gonna make sure this binds. Okay, And this dough stretches really well, so we should be able to kind of stretch this so that we can accommodate what we just put in the middle. And we're gonna fold it up on all sides, just like that. And you wanna make sure that there's no holes. When you did all that folding and all that stretching, just make sure there's no holes so that when it bakes, it can't leak out. And so what you have here is this little beggar's purse. And when they bake, they look just like that. And so what you do is, you could take a piece of chive or a green onion or whatever you have, and once it's baked and golden brown, you would then take a little piece of that chive or whatever you choose to use, tie it around and just make a little string, and it looks like a little purse. So, like I said, the last time I did these was with escargot, and basically you bite into it and you get the escargot, the wonderful taste, and the garlic butter, and it's a beautiful thing. But here's a makeshift Tiropita in an era of supply chain shortage made out of puff pastry. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do every one of these actually. You might hear the sounds of the oven behind me. It's kind of creaking. It's on 400 degrees because that's what I'm going to be cooking these on. So it is preheated. It's just kind of, doing its little creaky thing behind me. I get overzealous with this filling, and I want as much filling as possible, then I don't end up with enough dough. So what I'll do is I will continue, you know, putting these together. And I'll do that afterwards. But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and bake off the ones that I just did. And then we're gonna go ahead and put together a cucumber and tomato Greek salad to go with these. And so that makes just kind of a nice refreshing crunch and a nice refreshing lightness to the deep cheese, you know, the heavy cheese and those kind of flavors, the onion and whatnot. So, I'm also gonna put just a tad of egg wash on the outside to make these a little bit crispy. That'll make them kind of nice and golden brown. Not too much. Okay. So I have a little miniature sheet pan that I have coated with a non-stick foil. And I'm gonna go ahead and just put these on here. It's not like cookies, it's not like they're gonna fan out and touch each other. These will stay pretty much in place. So no need to worry about distancing. And there we have it. So we're just gonna go ahead and put these in the oven. And like I said, it's been preheated to 400, and we'll go ahead and let these go. I believe this is gonna take maybe around, I'm estimating maybe 12 minutes, 12 to 14 minutes. So let's see what happens. And there we are. Now in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and put this dough away. Obviously you've kind of seen what we're doing there. And I'll finish up with the rest of the filling at a later time. So let me put this away. And it just occurred to me that I had gotten these. Obviously I can put a little bit of filling in these. And these are pre-baked. And so all you do is just fill these. Let's try one out. So these are really cute. Nice. So I think I'll put a little bit of filling in here and try that out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So good. Now, admittedly, these do not have the flavor as when you do it yourself with, your melted butter and they're homemade. But it does give you that texture that you're looking for. Just, it doesn't have that classic buttery flavor that, when you make them by hand. Anyway, great substitute, no complaints. Wow, those are really good. So let me clean a little bit of this up here. And that's wonderful. And I am gonna need this bowl, so I'm gonna take out this mixture here. And in this particular instance, I don't mind that there's cream cheese in the bowl, and you're gonna see why. So I'm not actually gonna wash this out per se. It's okay that this filling is in here. As we make the salad, these kind of ingredients are gonna incorporate, and it'll just give it a little bit of a creaminess to the dressing, basically. So I'm really not worried about this. And in fact, I would encourage those flavors to be mixed together, and those textures. So we're gonna put this off to the side. Obviously that's a whole other long project that I will attend to. And in the meantime, let me get this, let's see, let's put this over here. The counter can be a little bit loud with the granite, so I'm trying to be kind of careful when I place things. So here's these little dough pieces. Put those over here. All right. So now, as promised, we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of a salad. And we're gonna start with these cucumbers. I got these little minis, and the reason I got these is because, when you get a regular cucumber, it can be kind of mealy in the middle, it has a lot of flesh in the inside. And then you get the English cucumbers, and those can also have a lot of white in the middle. I like that good crisp ratio on all sides of again, it's just a texture thing. I feel like there's a good crisp texture to all sides when you cut into these cucumbers, and you don't have like the thick skin part with the mealy inside. So let me go ahead and cut some of these up. Some of these packages are getting the best of me today. Now I am gonna go ahead and wash, some of these cucumbers. This is a vegetable wash. I'm gonna go ahead and wash some of these off first. I think these are already clean, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. And we'll just go ahead and scrub those up. I believe that this product, this vegetable wash, is actually made from oil, and so it's gonna basically dissolve anything oil-based that's on these fruits and vegetables. So let me just wash it away. Let me do a couple more. They say to do this for 1 minute on the bottle, to go ahead and scrub them for a minute. I don't think I usually go that long. All right. Of course, you have those little classic ends. I'm gonna cut those off. And I'm contemplating the size. I'm thinking, I don't know, what do you think? About like that? That looks right. They're rolling everywhere. And we'll just toss them in this bowl. So let me do a little trick to make it so that they don't roll away. I'm just gonna trim one edge. Sorry about the noise. They won't be round anymore per se, but they'll be mostly round, and this way they shouldn't fly away. Perfect. And then you can put those little ends in whatever salads you make. Shave a little strip off, that side down, and nothing rolls away. They make these knives with the little indentations in them for that very reason. It creates an air pocket, as you may or may not know, so that when you're cutting, things won't stick to the knife. So as you cut, it makes it much easier to deal with the vegetables. Okay, so, obviously we have our cucumbers in here. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add some tomatoes. Now these little tomatoes, I like to kind of make them the same size as, I like everything in a salad to be relatively the same size. I'm not a fan of, something that's huge and then something that's very small. It's weird. So I just chop these in half, put them in. Lengthwise. And I've never actually washed cherubs, these little tomatoes. I'm assuming every time I buy them that these are pre-washed. I guess I shouldn't assume that. But all right, one more and I think we're done. Okay, so the ratio is about right. We have our red and green. I'll do a couple more reds. Kind of want to make it even. When phyllo dough comes back into the grocery stores, whenever that may be, or if it may be, there's another recipe that I'll do for you involving that. Since we didn't get to do it this time, I'll do a different one next time if it's back in the stores. Okay, that's better. Now we have a good mix of red to green. So that's enough of those. And now, again with the cracked black pepper. Sorry about the noise. Now we're only going to do a little bit of that, and the reason why is because, as strange as it may seem, I'm going to add avocado toast seasoning. And the reason why is because this has lime in it, it has red pepper, black pepper, it has kind of the elements that you're looking for out of a nice, fresh, you know, kind of refreshing salad to go with the cheese. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this avocado toast seasoning in here. Now keep in mind that the Tiropitas, or what, you know, our makeshift Tiropitas with the puff pastry, they also had lime. So excuse me, the pepper got to me. So we don't want to go crazy with the lime. Just a little bit. And that'll do it for the avocado toast seasoning. Now remember when I said I really didn't want to wash the bowl, this was the reason why, is because as we stir this up, that cheese is sort of incorporating into the salad and it's kind of making a creamy texture, which is something I was actually going for. So we will go ahead and continue this. The water from the vegetables is sort of breaking down that cheese on the outside. And so we are also going to do a little bit of red onion. Not much, just a little. Again, we do have onion in the makeshift Tiropitas, so we don't want to go crazy with the onion. But let's do a little bit. And I chose red for this instead of yellow. And I take the whole outer layer and I peel that off. And the skin goes with it. I'm going to run this under cold water really quickly because not only did the pepper get to me, but I know that on top of that, the onion is now going to get to me. So let me go ahead and rinse the sulfur off of this, and then we can start cutting the onion. All right, that'll help the whole, you know, sinus thing. As much as I think strips, you know, of onion are really pretty in a salad, I don't think it's worth it when you're eating it, because, you know, when your fork gets into these little rounds and these little pieces of things, then you have this long onion and it doesn't eat well at all. So I'm gonna make the onion match the, you know, the pieces of the salad so that it will eat the same way. And I'm just gonna do kind of large chunks like that, and that should do it. There was probably not enough cold water in the world to navigate the sulfur in that onion. All right. So now we have this really pretty purple, red, green happening here. Looks great. Let me see if I can turn that to you. You'll see all those little colors. Looks wonderful. So now we are going to add another color. We have Kalamata olives here. And I got the ones that were they're already cut in half and pitted, obviously. So all we have to do is just kind of grab a couple of these out of here. And of course I have to taste test one. Oh yeah. Toss a few of those in. These are very, very strong, as you know. So I don't go too heavily on these. All right, so that's that. Also, what I'm gonna add is a little bit of Dijon mustard. Not much, just enough to give it a little bit of a punch. And so you can see kind of what I'm squeezing into there right now. It's not a lot, just enough. And we'll go ahead and stir that around. And now with the mustard in there, now it has really, because oil dissolves oil, it has pulled the cheese off the sides of the bowl and is kind of made into this creamy dressing. So that is precisely what I was going for. So let's see if I can turn this to you. So now we have this nice salad going. Sorry about the noise, I do apologize for that. And then also, we're gonna add a little bit of oregano to this salad. Classic, classic ingredient for Greek dishes. And same way we did with the mint, as you know, we're just gonna pull some of these leaves off the stems. And oregano is very, very strong. It actually goes a long way. And so you don't need much. It's a lot like mint, actually, in that regard. You don't need a lot of this for it to flavor. And it can overtake a dish really, really easily. So we're just gonna add a tad of this. Because like I said before, the more we stir the salad, the more the oils and the herbs will come out. And so you don't wanna go too heavily with the herbs right off the bat. Stir the whole thing up first before you decide on adding more. I'm just gonna sprinkle that in. I do believe they sell Greek seasoning packets. And, it's going to be some garlic, some oregano, pretty much the standard Greek flavors in there. I decided to go with fresh oregano today. Some jumped out of the bowl there. So, go ahead and stir that up. Now, with the sodium content, we really shouldn't need sodium in here. We shouldn't need to add salt. We do have the cheese component coming out of the oven at some point when it's done. And, a little bit of cheese from the inside of the bowl. So, and the Kalamata olives are very salty, so I'm not gonna add any sodium to this. And so the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add basically a balsamic dressing, and it's made with avocado oil. So you could do this with olive oil, it would be fine, red wine vinegar, that's pretty standard. I decided to do something, a little bit healthy with the avocado oil, and give it just a touch of balsamic. It's not going to be overpowering or anything like that. Just a tad to give it a little bit of an oily mouthfeel coming out of that, creamy cheese that we just sort of incorporated into this makeshift dressing. And just a little bit. I don't want this soaked in dressing. That should do it right there. All right. So here we have our salad. And again, I'm going to give this a little taste test to make sure that this is okay to serve. A little cucumber, a little tomato, a little onion, and where's get an olive in there. Oh, that avocado dressing. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, I'm highly recommending this. That did wonders for the flavor, and it pulled some really earthy elements out of the salad that I didn't expect to be there because of that avocado oil. Very, very much recommending this. Wow. Very nice. I didn't want to add avocado because we've already got the creaminess of the cheese, and so creamy upon creamy would just be weird, right? So I wanted that to remain fresh and light the way it is, and that was the perfect way of adding the flavor without the texture. Beautiful. So now what we're going to do is the salad is done. Oh, I did forget one other thing. What did I forget? I left a little bit of garnish, the feta cheese for garnish. So let's crumble that on top of there. Literally just like that. And so we're going to check the oven to see if our little beggar's purses are done. And we're going to build a plate. Oh, that Dijon mustard is coming out of there too. Oh, that's so good. So many flavors occurring. The oregano is perfect. It's not overdone. Great. I didn't measure anything, so, you know, all of this is really all just to taste. So it's really up to discretion as to what you would want to do personally with all of these things. So let's see here. So let's grab a plate. And we're going to check the oven to see if our beggar's purses are done. And I'm very excited about this. So in the time it took to build the salad, that's about the time it takes for those to cook. So if you did it, you know, if you do it exactly like we did it tonight, all the timing should be perfect, and then you can serve your guests or serve your family or whatever you're doing with it. Okay. So we're going to put a little bit of salad onto this plate. There we have it. I'm going to try to angle the camera down a little just so you can see more of the plate. So there we go. And then we're going to take these little guys. And we're just gonna, this is what it ends up looking like. Obviously this one, you know, I said don't leave a hole. Obviously I left a hole and you can see what happened. However, look at those crispy edges, those dark brown little edges. Those are gonna be really, really tasty. And so it's golden brown, exactly what you're looking for. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place those. There's another one. I will definitely be eating at least 3 of these. And there we go. So let me try to move this camera for you so that you can see what's going on this plate and get a little bit of a better view. There you go. That's what we ended up with. All right. So there you have this little Greek dish. Very relatively healthy. I mean, the salad itself is healthy. The cheese, I guess, let's just call the cheese healthy. Let's just call it good. Healthy dish. Not as quick as the lettuce wraps, but actually a lot more flavor. So there you have it. This is our makeshift Tiropita in a time when we are out of phyllo dough. So there you go.